morning everyone. My name is Chloe and I'm the Families Programmer for JW3 and this is the Morning Puppet Show, so welcome. Now you're probably wondering what this is doing here. This is the set for our puppet show and story this morning. Now this is a very special place called the Wild Tree, and the Wild Tree is where some of my friends live, so I'd like to introduce you to them if that's okay. So we have Fifi Fox, Susie Squirrel, Motty Mouse, Omri Owl, and Bertie Bat. So the two characters in our story today are Omri Owl and Bertie Bat, so we're going to say bye to the other ones and we'll start our story. So this is the Wild Tree and chapter 1 called The Windmill. Bertie Bat's eyes slowly opened as he heard tweeting coming from the branch above his. Woo, woo, woo. At that moment, the world was upside down, so Bertie turned himself the right way up and looked around for the tweeting. Woo, woo, woo. Good morning, Bertie, said a sweet, soft voice from above his head. Oh, good morning, Omri. Omri Owl was sitting calmly on his branch, looking out over the empty street below their tree, looking very puzzled indeed. He had been wondering to himself recently, I wonder where all my friends have gone. Why aren't there people walking about in the park, flying their planes in the sky and having lovely big picnics? Where was everyone? Bertie, where are all of our friends? Like Fifi Fox, Motty Mouse and Susie Squirrel. They usually go past our tree on the way to school every morning, but we haven't seen them in ages, said Omri to his friend. Do you know what, Omri? I've been thinking the same thing. We haven't been to school in a while and my daddies are doing all of their work from home. Same, whoop, hooted Omri, nearly falling off his branch. My mum and dad say we have to wait a little while before we can go back to school. I wonder if it's because everyone's playing a big game of hide and seek. Maybe that's it, shouted Bertie. From inside the tree, Bertie and Omri could hear some rustling. Their parents poked their heads out and said to them both, Now you must stay in our tree. We can't go out yet, but I'm sure there's lots of fun things to do here. Bertie and Omri thought to themselves about how it might feel to have to stay in their tree all day. They thought it might be a little bit boring, but they should do as their parents said. I wonder if we could make something for our neighbours. Maybe they're lonely too, said Omri Owl. That's a lovely idea, Omri. What can we make? Asked Bertie. Well, our community is so important here, and I'm sure lots of our friends are missing playing with their toys outside, so why don't we make everyone a windmill from all of the beautiful branches and leaves from our tree? Bertie agreed that this was a great idea, and they began to hop around their tree, collecting branches and leaves to make presents for their neighbours. And that's the end of chapter 1. Can you say bye, guys? And we'll see you next week. So that was the end of our chapter 1. Thank you so much for listening. Now I've got a little project that I'd like you to do. After each chapter I'm going to set you a project to do. So Bertie and Omri had a really nice idea of making presents for their neighbours that might be a little bit lonely. They're stuck in their trees or stuck in their houses. They might need a bit cheering up. So what I thought it would be really nice to do is go into your garden, if you have a garden. If you don't, maybe look out your window and see if there's anything, or in your house that you can use, and make a nice little present for your neighbour or someone that you love, and maybe leave it on their doorstep and write a note just saying, thinking of you, lots of love from Chloe. And I'm sure your neighbours and your loved ones will really, really appreciate it, knowing that you're thinking of them. So I hope you enjoyed the story, and we'll see you next week.